and the trade of the day within the clothing retail space. Mr. Paul Theron, let's unveil.
Okay, so Viv decided that we are going to go with
Before you tell us, how long was the deliberation?
Well, it took us at least,
days.
15 seconds.
Well, now we've got credibility, don't we? All right, so our 15-second play of the day.
We love the sector. We can see the rising and strong profit growth. I think the only issue between Viv and I has been the question of price, because I was hot on all of them, but some of them are obviously quite frothy. Foschini's...
Well, you weren't hot on Rex Trueform.
Yeah, no,
Seda.
forget about those two lackluster laggards. Of the big three we talked about before the break. So, I mean, Foschini's got a more diverse model, not just in clothes. They are in credit and very good at it, but they're also in jewelry, and they're also in the sports thing, the sports scene, total sports stuff that I like so much, Due South, which is exploring and all that. Plus, of course, the strong brands in the clothing environment, and only on a 20 PE.
Viv, I want to know, did he bully you at any stage? Were you strong-armed into this decision?
Actually, I think it was my idea.
Was it your idea?
Unfortunately, maybe.
Yes, it tends to confuse one. You don't know whether it was your idea or not at the end.
Yeah.
But you like this one. It's a solid play.
I do think it is. Because considering the sector it's in, if we consider the sector to be strong, and which we do think is to be strong at the moment, it's much cheaper in terms of its PEG ratio than its peers. Its growth rate compared to its basically price to earnings ratio is better than some of the other companies out there. It has about 0.8, I think, for Foschini, where the average for the sector is more like 1.2, which is obviously a very positive thing. And we were mentioning the fact that the entire sector is strong, but it's the pricing that matters. And the pricing here for the Foschini group is what I think is actually going to be pushing it through.
The pullback makes it attractive.
Yes, that's great, because it's a question on this thing, what we actually do is go and do the trade on our global trader platform in our hot stocks account. So as far as Foschini is concerned, there are two issues. There's price. So it has pulled back a little bit from that 143 or something high. It's at about 132, 33. Plus there's a catalyst. And the catalyst, in my opinion anyway, is festive season sales. After all of the moaning, the economy actually is sort of looking slightly better. The market's done quite well. The credit issue is out there, but my own positive view is that we're probably going to see a good Christmas trading season, and early next year we'll see these stores all coming out with their festive season.
Right, so on
numbers.
followhotstocks.com, you place the trade. This is your buy. How are we going to know when you decide to sell? Because Viv, obviously you've got to notify all those people that are following followhotstocks.com.
Yeah, the way it works is that if we were to make that decision, but we're trying to be a little bit sort of more longer dated in the approach, so we're going to not put all of our capital on this trade, we're going to put a relatively small portion. And when we issue the trade advisory, we'll tell people that we're going to wait until the January numbers, and then we'll review it. By which time it'd probably be time to talk about these companies again on hot stocks, because that's what happens. They come up every 2 or 3 months.
So right now you're putting it into the drawer and you are holding.
Yeah, you could say there's a theory that around the festive season until about basically the start of January, you would find these stocks doing rather well, and maybe able to sell off after January or so.
And we're going to pick up the conversation in February. Is it February? We're going to pick up the conversation and see how well they've done with their choice of Foschini.